This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. This is a bonus episode, an audience of one, and this one's a little bit different. Instead of doing jokes or telling a story, I'm going to do a short interview with our famed master of all the arts. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Bob Worley.
Hey Scott, thank you. Great to be here.
Bob, it's great to have you back on the show. We've had such an exciting journey. We started back in December of 2020, and I got to tell you, you are a man of many talents.
Well, we all know that's true. I'm glad that we all survived this whole little journey together.
Well, I think you hit a key word there. It's great that you survived. You had several injuries through all these experiences. Let's see, you fell off the tightrope and you got locked in a box.
Well, in my mind, if you don't get hurt, you're not trying.
In juggling, you smashed your big toe. Let's catch the audience up. So over the last, 8 months or so, 8-10 months, Bob has tried all the various art forms. It started in December of 2020. You were a mime. How did you conceive of being a mime? Are you a fan of miming?
Actually, I am a fan of miming. I saw Marcel about 6 or 7 times throughout my lifetime. So yeah, and I actually used to practice a little bit of miming, although I'm not very good at it. It's better if I could actually speak.
Actually,
so then it was okay. When I described what I was doing, people really seemed to enjoy it.
Well, it's true that in improv, they want you to learn a little bit of mime because it's all about being able to express yourself without voice. In theater, that's a real important thing. But it was exciting to have you on the show as a mime, although you did get locked in the box and couldn't get out. We should mention that your co-stars, your lovely daughter, Lisanne, who was a part of most of the shows, it must have been thrilling for her.
That poor kid. It's like, you get over here. Hey, I want you to say this. No, just do this. Just react to what I'm doing. So, yeah, she did a great job.
Oh, she's amazing.
The only reason I came up, I wouldn't have never done the mime thing, but I said it as a joke when you were driving back from the Dakotas, I think.
Yeah.
That you wanted me to do this thing and do some jokes. And I thought, well, I really don't have jokes. So as a joke to you, I said, yeah, I'll do my mime bit. And you laughed. And then I thought, yeah, that would be kind of funny because maybe to me. Because I knew nobody could see me, but I would just pretend like everybody could see what it was I was doing.
Yeah, we should if the audience doesn't remember, in every bonus show where Bob was trying a new art form, he acted like it was a video vlog of entertainment as opposed to a audio podcast, and that we could see him. He went from mime to juggling, and that was a disaster because the bowling ball landed on your foot. Right.
It was my dad's bowling ball. Very happy. He was a strong man. So and I used my mom's fault. It would have been a lot like, the outfit. The idea for the outfit was that I would wear the same exact outfit, the mime outfit, but just change the letters across the chest to tell you what it was I was doing. That was the idea.
No, I picked up on that. It was hilarious because you would say, Lisanne would make the comment, "You're wearing the same thing, Dad."
Right.
And you go, "No, it's different. It says magic here."
Right. But I would always misspell it, and she would always correct me. I like that part because that's how it is in my real life.
Well, that was a great, consistent. I think what was nice about the series was there were some threads of consistency. In other words, you could not do any of the art forms correctly. You had the same outfit every time, but you would change the name on it, and then you always misspelled the name. Those were kind of the 3 consistent aspects of the stories, right?
Yeah, and I also wanted to go out, pretend like I was going out and buying this equipment. That the reason you couldn't see me wasn't that it was a podcast, is that it was a failure on my side, that I must not have the right equipment. So I would go out and buy lights and a brand new camera and new audio stuff. And of course, it never worked.
Well,
I would spend thousands of dollars just to make this work.
Right, right. And it was so hilarious that you had each week or each episode, you had a new talent you wanted to try out. And we mentioned Lisanne as a co-host, but at the end, we also had your lovely bride, Bernice, join in. And Lisanne and Bernice were excited about helping out, I'm sure.
Oh, as always, as always. As Bernice often says to me, I hate comedy. But anyways.
Well, so we went from mime to juggling, and then you did magic. And that was the one that was so exciting until you destroyed Lisanne's brand new Apple Watch.
Right. I actually did use a watch for that, by the way. So, yeah, that was fun. I mean, it's just stuff that I've seen other magicians do. And everybody that watches people that do that, those kind of art, always think, well, that doesn't look that hard. I could probably do that. You know, we've all done that. You know, anybody can do that. And then you go to do it and you realize it is so stinking hard to do this.
Right, right. They have years of practice. They've rehearsed, whether it's mime, juggling, magic, tightrope walking, ventriloquism, or clowning. We should mention all the various art forms you tried. But it's exactly true that you see people doing that and you think, oh, that can't be that hard. Well, you don't realize they've got years of practice and rehearsal and experience. So after magic, this was the one that threw me. How did you come up with tightrope walking?
You know, I honestly don't know. At first I was going to be an acrobat. I thought, well, I'll do acrobat. But it was such a long word to put on my chest, so I decided, walker. So,
wait. If I remember correctly, you put wanker.
Wanker.
So tightrope walking was definitely experience, only in that one it ended with you having a terrible fall. But what was interesting is while you were in the hospital with your mouth wired shut, you thought, well, this is a perfect time to learn ventriloquism. And I loved how you sequenced those together, you know, the segue. It was thought out.
Thanks. Well, you know, what better time to work on it when you can't open your mouth? And the whole idea of what's behind that one, obviously, is that even with my mouth open, I was still so bad at it that, you know, it's not like a Willie Tyler Lester who you can understand every single word he's saying. I just wanted to be a guy who's just,
Well, we've worked with the best, Dave Strassman, you know, Jay Johnson, Willie Tyler and Lester. I mean, you and I both have worked with really talented ventriloquists. And I think
they make it look so easy, but you realize, gosh, it's so hard because they're doing all that comedy and, you know, just making it look so easy that people are actually looking at the dummies, you know, so.
Well, I think what's interesting about ventriloquism is every child, every person, every adult at some point has tried to enunciate words without moving their lips after seeing a ventriloquist, thinking, oh, it looks easy, and it's really, really hard.
Yeah, I can barely enunciate words while moving my mouth. So.
And then we ended up with,
I
didn't mean to talk over you, but we ended up with Bobo the Clown.
Yeah, that's kind of how that whole thing. Because I figured I would take it back to my roots of being a class clown. Although I think I said, in my case, I actually dressed up like a clown in school, you know, because I took it all the way.
Well, you know what's funny about that, Bob? Of all these art forms, we're talking mime, juggling, magic, tightrope walking, and ventriloquism. The one that I actually think is closest to your true personality, the one that I think that if you wanted to, you could have been, is a clown, because you do have a really outrageous sense of humor. You're very funny, both verbally and physically. So when you ended on the clown, Bobo the Clown, I thought that was the perfect bookend to the series.
Yeah, we shut off a little too early because that whole thing didn't end too well. I ended up in handcuffs that day. Not the first time I've been in handcuffs, by the way, but.
Well, were the kids at least entertained?
They weren't entertained until I finally got tased. Then they went crazy. They loved that. And as I'm laying there getting zapped, I'm thinking to myself, oh, great, now I got to add this to the act. I might have to close with this.
I could just see a clown in full clown outfit and makeup writhing on the ground as being tased in handcuffs.
It was not pretty. And, of course, I peed myself. So, you know, kids, they love. Balloon animals, they could care less about. But see the funny clown get zapped. They loved it.
Well, for me and the audience, Bob, I want to say thanks for being so creative and coming up with these amazing, entertaining vignettes that I think shared a little bit of escapism in theater. Because what I liked about it is, even though it's an audio podcast, I was able to envision you as a mime, a juggler, a magician with, the same outfit but changing the names, the tightrope walker with the special slippers that you got at the store, the ventriloquism with the wired mouth shut, and then as the clown. I mean, what was great about this series, and again, thank you for doing it, was that not only did I think it was entertaining and fun, but I could visualize what you said you were doing because you presented it so well. I just wish it didn't always end in pain and misery for you.
That's how I end everything. Everything has to end. And even in my stand-up, it had to end in some kind of tragic thing. So
that made you a popular headliner.
I always wanted the people to leave the show going, hey, at least we're not bad guys. So it's a feel-good show.
Well, thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. I know you enjoyed these short vignettes by Bob sharing all his various talents. And I know that the one that means the most to you is Bobo the Clown. Is there a future for Bobo?
Well, Scott, I've decided to hang up all that live performance, and I think I'm going to pursue my passion for working with clay. That's my new thing. Working with clay. I just took my first class, and it was a hit. Like, I found out the term to throw clay, you don't actually throw it. And I also found out that pottery wheel is not my own personal merry-go-round. So I'm learning a lot already.
Well, you're going to go from the entertainment arts to clay forming. What's it called?
Clay forming.
All right. Well, I can't wait to get the ashtray. I'm sure you'll make me.
No. Right now, I'm working on my Wiener Dog series and my Snake series. I'll send you some.
Can't wait. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to this week's Audience of One bonus show. Bob, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for sharing all these various art forms and all your quality comedy and time with us. We hope that you had as much fun doing it as we did listening.
Well, thanks, Scott. It was a lot of fun. Don't do anything I would do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we'll let you go. Thanks, Bob.
Adios.
There he goes, riding off into the sunset. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.